Yes, good afternoon, or good morning, should I say. Welcome to SirToshi's Bitcoin Chart Show. This is the Bitcoin forecast, the strength of the system, the health of the network, where we find out what's up with what is going down. Today's day is Wednesday, the 26th of October, 2022. Without further ado, let's just jump straight into it. BuyBSV.live, the best place to buy Bitcoin SV online, the original protocol and genuine Bitcoin. Here we go. Let's get into these figures. Here we go. Right, so got a special guest listening in today. You know who you are. This show is especially for you. So I'm just going to spend a bit more time explaining the graphs and figures and charts that we're looking at today. But again, obviously trying to find the optimum time period. Don't want to spend too long, so I'll nip through it as fast as I can, explaining it as coherently and as succinctly as possible. Right, so on this front page then, we have got the 4 Bitcoin protocol forks. On the left-hand side in yellow, we have got BTC. Now, BTC is the SegWit protocol that was implemented on the 24th of August 2017, which actually segregated the digital signatures from the transaction data. Now, the economic and implications that had was that when you send a transaction in Bitcoin, you're actually sending true economic value, which means it's a form of a contract. Now, when those signatures are removed from that transaction data, just like any contract that doesn't have a signature on it, that contract is null and void. So when you're receiving numbers in BTC, all you are receiving is numbers on a screen. There is no economic value with that. There is no legal recourse with that. So it is economically worthless and legally completely illegitimate. So when I say it's got a speculative value of $20,000, it's got a fundamental value of precisely 0, which means it's going to hurt a lot of people, unfortunately, because it's going to go from 20,000 to nothing. Then we've got, next to that, we've got Bitcoin Cash. I like to refer to it as Bcrash. Again, what they were doing was implementing Schnorr signatures, which scrambled the digital signatures along with the transaction data, meaning that effectively those digital signatures have been deleted. Again, same consequence of SegWit. There is no legal recourse and no economic value in any of those transactions on Bitcoin Cash. So again, a lot of people are going to get hurt there. eCash, which I prefer to call the Fisher Price Cash. Again, they've changed the protocol, and it's got I think it's got a $21 trillion supply now, which is why the price is 0.00004. Again, nobody had the opportunity to start their network, which means it's a security offering, because Bitcoin, which is BSV, is the original protocol with the chain of signatures that goes right the way back to the Genesis block. And this means that anyone and everyone had an equal and common opportunity to start the network themselves. This is what makes the network a commodity network. It is the only digital commodity network in the world right now. And you can see what's happened here. So initially the protocol started out with a ticker symbol of BTC. Then through social engineering and manipulation, the protocol carried on with a new ticker symbol, which was BCH, that was Bitcoin Cash, and then the signatures were obfuscated and scrambled, and the original protocol just simply now has the ticker symbol BSV, but it is exactly the same as when it started. And a digital commodity network can only be created with a fixed supply, a locked protocol, infinite scale, economic competition, and a chain of digital signatures, which we can see. Oh, if we might be able to see clearly here. There we go. There we go. This image here should if you were to look at Bitcoin as a commodity, this is what it would look like. It would look like a 5-sided hexagon, because these are the 5 elements that make up the commodity. So again, a fixed supply, 21 million, a locked protocol, meaning it is permissionless. Anyone and everyone can build on it, and no one can change it. We have on the left here unrestricted capacity, so that's an uncapped block size, just meaning effectively any amount of data can go into a block now within that 10-minute window before SHA-256 is found and the block of data is created. Then on the right, we've got economic competition, which is proof of work, where miners compete to find SHA-256. And then at the bottom, we have common accountability through the chain of digital signatures. And again, a lot of people ask me, do any nefarious entities have control of the Bitcoin network? And the answer that I always give is that if they did have control of it, or if it was a centralized network, they would not have had to. They would not have created with a chain of digital signatures to hold everybody equally and commonly accountable, because they all want central control of it. So that's how you can tell that the powers that be didn't create Bitcoin, because they do not want to be held accountable. Let me just there we go. Just bring just so I can see myself on my Twitch account. It's coming up again. There we go. Here we go. So the hash rate, we can actually have a look at the hash rate here on crypto charts. Here we go. If we go to BitInfo charts and we go to hash rate just down here. Here we go. We'll just simply have a look at BSV on its own over 3 months. Yeah, we can see the hash rate starting to move up there. That's looking very promising indeed. The network nodes. Now, the network nodes are the mining operations that actually supply the hash rate. For any newbies here who don't know what a mining operation looks like, these are they. These are the mining operations. This is the backbone to the new global financial system, the world's first ever commercial internet. This blows my mind every time, and all this stemmed from the Bitcoin white paper alone. Some of these mining operations are just absolutely enormous. It's just phenomenal. Blows my mind every time. Now, transactions are speak for themselves. They are the volume of transactions on the network. 2x. There we go. Now the transactions just simply upload the data, which is represented by the block size, but we can see how useful the network is in comparison to all the other networks. If we go back here, we'll go to BitInfo charts, go to charts. Here we go, look at this. This is the most important one to look at, is transactions last 24 hours. We can see here that Bitcoin, the original protocol, genuine Bitcoin, has had 3,892,985 transactions over the last 24 hours. And that represents almost 60% of the entire market. And that includes XRP, that's just got 16.2, and Ethereum was 16.4. Let's see if we can find the actual market right now. Let's have a quick look at it. Here we go. So if we go to coins on the market, this tells us how many there are. So if we do coins on the page 200, we go to page 100. This should tell us how many coins are currently listed. So there's currently 19,890 coins listed on the market. So of that 19,850 coins, we can see that Bitcoin has got 60% of the entire transaction across those 19,000 plus coins. It's just absolutely sensational stuff. It really is. So just to recap again, the block size, which is the data on the network, the data is uploaded via the transactions. The transactions are processed by the nodes that create blocks and supply the hash rate. And the hash rate is meant to be attracted to the value, which then is meant to be representative of the price. But the price is currently speculative because people don't have a clue what Bitcoin really is. But when education catches up with speculation, you can guarantee that their prices will soon start to match their fundamental values, which means BTC, unfortunately, is going to zero, Bcrash is going to zero, and Fisher price, well, it's almost at zero anyway. Yeah, that's what's going to happen here. So let's just have a carry on, have a look at some of these figures here. So if we look on the right hand side, we can see a BTC has got a block size, or it's got a block limit of about 1 megabyte. So all the blocks here are just sort of 1 megabyte. Bitcoin Cash again, they've got 3 blocks over a megabyte. That's 1,000 kilobytes, so they've only got 3 blocks there. The Fisher Price Cash one, again, struggling to get all of their blocks over a kilobyte. But then we've got Bitcoin over here. We can still see this sort of rogue miner mining empty blocks when there's lots of transactions that need to be processing. But the blocks here are just enormous. Look, we've got a 689 megabyte block. Just recently, we've been used to seeing 4 gigabyte blocks. And you can actually see these blocks being processed live right here on what's on chain. So we can see currently here we've got 121,421 transactions in the memory pool at the moment, and the memory pool usage is currently at 6.72 gigabytes in size, which means there's probably a nice big juicy block being created right now. The previous block, so the latest block, if you click on here, we can actually see the details in here. So we've got block height, which says so there was only 254 bytes in size. So again, it's pretty much an empty block. But for those who are interested, I think you can actually go back and see the block that contained the very first ever transaction between Hal Finney and Satoshi Nakamoto himself. So this was on the 12th of January 2009. And if we go down the bottom here, this one should be so that was the Coinbase that was created. Let's have a look at the transaction. Here we go. So there were two outputs here. Let's have a look at that one. Let's just go back. So we can see that in this output there were two outputs. So 40 BTC was sent. 10 bitcoins were kept by Hal Finney, and then 30 bitcoins were returned. And the reason you have to do a return transaction is for the purpose of the ledger, to show that two people have transacted with each other, so that the wallet addresses are known to each, and a record has been recorded on the ledger. But that was it. 10 bitcoins kept by Hal Finney, the very first ever the very first ever transaction on Bitcoin on the 12th of January 2009. Phenomenal. Compare that to the amount of data that's in the transactions now. So let's carry on with the rest of these charts here on CoinDance. Here we go. There we go. That's what we're after. So we've got hash rate. Again, hash rate follows price, follows value, follows utility, follows creativity, initiative, and intelligence. If you are intelligent and you apply creativity and initiative, you can make something useful. When something is useful, it can then create value. When it creates value, it can then develop a price. When it develops a price, it can then be measured against the cost of other goods and services and used as a medium of exchange. Remember, if something is useless, it is worthless. If something is useful, it's valuable. It's as simple as that. Proof of work by network. So again, this is the amount of proof of work that's gone into each network. But again, people are confused by the name. This should be representing the original protocol and not the new protocol that was created on the 24th of August 2017 called SegWit protocol. So really, all of this should be over on the original protocol and genuine Bitcoin, which now has the ticker symbol BSV and is known as Bitcoin SV, but it's just Bitcoin. Look at these figures here. Sensational figures. I actually saw this over 100,000 times cheaper this morning, but now we're at 97,000 times. So we can see here it's 97,727 times cheaper to transact on Bitcoin than BTC, which is the SegWit protocol. So again, this shows you the health of the network when it's currently 8% more profitable to mine on SV, and yet it's still 97,000 times cheaper to transact on the network. It's absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. This is daily average Bitcoin block size by network. So again, this is on a log curve because they've tried to they've tried to represent it, but really it doesn't, because we should actually be looking at this proportionally. So we can see here it goes from 1 megabyte, 10 megabyte, and suddenly shoots up to 100 megabytes. So if we actually look at this proportionally, BTC, Bcrash, and Fisher Price gas would almost be like on the line there. And this is BSV. So I mean, look at the volume. Look at this. The transactions on the network. Absolutely sensational stuff. And then this is transactions per block. Transactions on the network. So that was block size by network. So that's data. This is volume of transactions on the network. And this is transactions per block by network, which is why they're going to look the same, because that's rather than this is just the average transactions over the entire network, whereas this is transactions per block in comparison. This is daily average Bitcoin fees by network. So again, look at this. These are sub-cent transactions on Bitcoin. And again, this is on a log curve, so it shows you how ridiculously expensive it is to transact on BTC. It cannot be used as a peer-to-peer electronic cash system at all. This is daily average Bitcoin fees by network. So this is fees Satoshis. So whereas here we've got fees USD, this is subcent fees. This is the amount it costs on in Bitcoin. And look at this again. This is on a log curve. So proportionally, Bitcoin BSV would just simply be literally almost on the flat line in comparison to these other protocols. Now this is daily average fee to block reward ratio. So the red line here is going to be representative of, let's see if I can see it, this solid blue line here. So as the block reward continues to get cut in half every 210,000 blocks, the block fee will eventually surpass the block reward, and then we have an economically self-sustaining system, which is what we are gunning for. Oh yes. So this is the chart that says it all. So this is daily accumulated Bitcoin blockchain growth by network. This is absolutely sensational. This is the most important chart to keep an eye on. Look at that. You can see that BSV almost going parabolic now, and this is nothing compared to what's coming down the pipeline. But this just simply shows you the growth of the network, and eventually miners will just simply mine the chain that has the largest amounts of utility on it, which is represented by the growth of the chain, because that's the chain that's going to be the most profitable to mine. And when it becomes the most profitable to mine, it's the most useful. That's the one everyone's going to be using. That's when the price goes up and it grows even more. It's going to be absolutely massive. Absolutely massive. Right, let's get on to hash rate. So this is global hash rate, 7 days. Quite interesting to look at there. We've got Foundry USA pool, which is MasterCard, and then Ant pool, and then F2 pool. But then if we look at this over 24 hours, look, Ant pool and Foundry USA pool have got more than 50% of the hash rate between them. But I mean, it's an economically worthless and useless chain anyway, so like who cares, honestly? This is BTC, so again, BTC, 99% of the hash rate. So again, between Ant pool and MasterCard, they've got more than 50% of the hash rate, but it's an economically worthless and legally illegitimate chain anyway. This is Bitcoin Cash. So again, just remind ourselves of the profitability. It's nearly always more profitable to mine on BTC in comparison. Look at that. Would you believe it? It's 0.5% more profitable to mine on BTC. That's hilarious. And then we've got Fisher Price Cash. This looks like a chain death happening soon, because via BTC we've got 92.3% of the hash rate on the network, which means they're actually, and if it's more profitable to mine, they will continue adding more and more hash rate until these other miners just simply can't compete, and eventually it will have 100% of the hash rate and be economically worthless, because there'll be a single miner on the chain. And then as soon as that miner changes its mind and decides that another chain is going to be more worthwhile mining, well, they're going to be in serious trouble. And this is Bitcoin. So Tau, we can see the blue area here actually represents 100% of their hash rate. So when we see this changing, it actually means that it's other mining pools that are increasing their hash rate on the network, because Tau already got a maximum hash rate on here. And we just looked before, it's now 7.8% more profitable to mine on BSV, which is sensational stuff. Right, let's again, the reason it's important to keep an eye on the profitability is because, again, at the moment we don't want any shitcoin enterprises on the chain. And the reason we don't want any shitcoin enterprises on the chain is because the only thing they understand is dollar worshipping, which leads on to price manipulation, which we'll look at now in the short positions. Here we go, that's what we want. So we can see the red line at the top represents the volume of short positions in comparison to the long positions that are at the bottom. So we can see miners are currently giving it a short ratio of 90%, but that's because they think that BSV is a new coin. They don't understand that it's the original Bitcoin and goes right the way back to the Genesis block. Just because it's had a change of name, they don't think that any skullduggery could have possibly happened. People that are asleep just literally don't have a clue. So let's, I normally look at BTC. BTC's got about a short ratio of 2%. It's not really worth looking at, to be honest with you, but showing you the efficiency of BSV. Look at this. So this is Coin Carbon Cap, and we can see that Bitcoin here has got 9,942 transactions per megawatt hour, in comparison to Bcrash has just got 23. That's not 230. That's not 2,300. That is 23. 23 transactions per megawatt hour in comparison to Bitcoin that's got 9,942. Honestly, there is just no comparison there. It's absolutely huge. Let's have a look at the protocols quickly then. So Run Protocol producing 6.4 gigabytes of data and 3 million transactions. Let's have a look at applications, see what's going on here where CryptoFight is. CryptoFight's producing 2.9 million transactions and 6.1 gigabytes of data. CentiHash now producing 282,223 transactions over a 24-hour period and 74 megabytes of data that is now starting to monitor other computer networks. It's a beautiful app, CryptoQuant, so this shows you the amount of BTC that exchanges are holding in reserve. We can see they've been cashing out all year. If we actually had a longer time frame, you would see that this purple line just extended way off the screen up there. All the exchanges are cashing out while they still can. So this was a live coin watch then. So we'll just go back to coins here quickly. So we can see that we've got a market cap of over $1 trillion right now. That's owed together. It's Coolcoin BTC. That's got a trade volume of 6.4% and a market cap of $396 billion. It's worth precisely zero. Oh dear. Going up over 24 hours though. Let's have a quick look at a BSV. So remember, this is a coin that's got almost 60% of the entire transaction volume on its network. Where would this be? Look at this, ranked down at number 54. Absolutely insane. Trade volume just 2.31%. Price going up over the last 24 hours. This is the trade volume. So we've currently got 1.1 million bids versus 1.3 million asks. This shows you exactly what is going on in the market at the immediate time frame. So the reds are sellers and the greens are buyers. And again, this changes every second. So let's have a look at the price action here. So this is Bitcoin, genuine Bitcoin, SV. And it looks like the price is trending up nicely there, up 4.9%. But again, it's just following the rest of the market due to trading bots. So Coolcoin BTC up 7.4. It looks, I guess they're probably pumping the price with Tether because it's economically worthless anyway. CoinGecko, let's have a quick look at this. How are we feeling about it today? Feeling good. 78%, we'll take that. Right, let's have a look at Tether, see what's going on here. So, oh look, the price. It's losing its peg to the upside. So I'm expecting huge amounts of Tether to have been bought to try and pump the price. Look at that. Look, it's lost its peg to the upside. This will be interesting. Let's have a look at the market cap. Look at that. Would you believe it? Would you believe it? Look at that. That's unbelievable. Unbelievable. So it's gone from 68 billion to, let's have a quick look. So was it 68.49 to 68.53. So it looks like they've put like another 100 million in probably a single buy order in the market to get the market rallying behind it. Honestly, absolutely outrageous. Absolutely, look at that over 7 days. Look at that. That's outrageous. That's absolutely outrageous. BTC has got no use case whatsoever. The only way they can keep it alive is by just pumping more and more Tether into it. That's absolutely hilarious. Oh my goodness me. Let's have a quick look at these other charts then. So this is BSV versus BTC. So BTC again going up, being pumped by Tether, which just shows you the relation between BSV and BTC. As like BSV is currently going down because again it's not manipulated by Tether. Would you believe it? And then we've got BTC versus USD again. Look at that. That's the Tether printer. This is Coinbase Global, so again down 78% since it was released. Again, that was the directors just dumping on all the retail customers. MicroStrategy, owned by Michael Saylor, down 51%, and again just speculators in the market. Silverfish, let's have a look at this. Oh, so we've got 10,011 views on this. You can see all the I've timestamped all the different sections of the movie so you can find out what's going on in the world today. There we go. That is a 24-minute show. Hope it wasn't too bad. That feeling when you know Bitcoin is BSV. We'll leave it there. Hope you enjoyed it. As ever, be aware, take care, stay safe out there, and we'll see you in the next one.